What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Collective Comics and the Lights Comics Action Podcast. We're diving into episode number 30 today. I'm joined by the homie Jake.
Yo.
Man, we went to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 last night.
Yes.
Yes. I enjoyed it. I
thought it was good.
To say the very least, I enjoyed it. I have a problem with kind of falling asleep during all of the other Guardians movies. I didn't fall asleep during this one, I'll tell you that much.
That's kind of like another ongoing thing with our channel.
Yeah.
What movies has Javier fallen asleep during?
That's why I have to watch movies multiple times.
Yeah.
Most of the time is because I'll fall asleep like at the end or in the middle or something like that. But this one, it was very entertaining.
Before we jump into anything too in-depth, spoilers. We're just saying spoilers. We're really bad about saying spoilers. So this is a review of Guardians 3, so we're going to have spoilers for sure.
Yes. Indeed, big time spoilers. Like Rocket. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm not going to do it yet.
That part when Rocket dies and he's no longer,
not going to lie, right in the beginning.
He doesn't come back to life. He's not alive at the end.
Yep.
Not true.
Before we went to go and see it, I kept seeing a lot on TikTok about how Rocket's going to die in this movie. Rocket's going to die. Rocket's going to die. That was like the main thing that was coming out of this movie, and that's the only thing that I was kind of expecting to happen. Yeah, and he got shot right away in the beginning. I looked over at you, and I was like, I didn't think they were going to kill him yet.
Yeah.
Are you joking?
I guess technically he did die. He died for a little bit, and they were able to bring him back, but
yeah, I think he was right on the cusp, about to pass over, and then what was his friend's name? His friend's
Lila, right?
Lila. Yeah, Lila.
Yeah, like he flatlined. Like all of his vitals on the machine were done. Like he was done. He was talking to Lila and like, I want to come with you, and she's like, it's not your time yet. That classic movie. Yeah, his character dies, but it's not their time, so they come back. Low
key predicted that. Because I was like, how can they kill Rocket? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how. Just because I've fallen asleep in the other movies, and I don't really know. I think I've always been a little bit more attached to Rocket just because of his attitude. And I don't know. We didn't really have like 100% of an origin story for Rocket beforehand because he was like pretty closed off about it.
Yeah, in the movie they say like Rocket doesn't talk about it. He won't talk about where he comes from.
Yeah, and that's that. And I think they tried to pry it out of him in one or two. I forget which one.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And it just wasn't going to happen.
Right. But like this movie as a whole is a friggin' roller coaster, man.
Yeah, up and down.
It was like funny and like verge of crying. It was like laughing, crying, and there wasn't like a lot of in between.
No, not at all.
It was like somebody would do something funny, immediately into a Rocket flashback, and you're like, oh no,
right?
What is happening?
Okay, man. So I have a quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
By the looks of that theater, this was the most packed that I've seen a Marvel movie or a DC movie that we've been to in the last year almost of doing this.
Okay. Keep going. That has had that many booties in the seats. I'm a little irritated.
What's up?
When we were looking at tickets and seats, because we went somewhere where we had to buy seats, like specific seats.
Yes.
The entire theater was full. There was like one-offs. So we got like one of the only spots where you could get two seats next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That theater wasn't that full. I mean, it was full. Like there was a lot of people there, but it wasn't as full as the thing said it was. So
I was thinking that a little bit, but I was like, maybe a couple people didn't show up.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's an empty seat or an empty two seats, but it was still way more packed than what you and me have been currently used to and kind of expecting. It's been like maybe the last one that we went to was Ant-Man. There's seriously maybe 3 or 4 people in there with us.
Well, Shazam, we went.
That was super late though.
Yeah, we went late to that one. So this was the same theater, and this, I would say Wakanda Forever would be the closest, but that was also a much smaller theater.
Yes.
So like this was a massive theater. This is like the whatever.
This is our new favorite theater. This is our new favorite theater.
Yeah.
We used to go to AMC, and now we always go to Imagine just because of the seats. I think it's really cool the fact that you can order like your pizza, go to your seat, and that's how they do it.
Well, we did Cinemark for Black Adam. We did AMC for some of the other ones because it's so close to our house, and then we don't live together, but yeah. And then since Shazam, we've been going to this Imagine thing, and that's it, you know. And like this one, we went a little bit earlier, so we went at 4, so we got matinee pricing, so it's like not even that expensive to go. You know what I mean? It was pretty nice and a way better experience.
100%. And this is actually, believe it or not, that's the second time I was there in 1 week.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because you saw Mario, right?
Yeah, I just went to go see the Mario movie, so I kind of have a feeling that just because the theaters are packed right now because of the Mario movie, that, you know, people were probably showing up expecting to be able to get a seat and not getting a seat, and then, okay, let's just go see another movie.
Could be, yeah.
You know? So, like, I don't know if that's playing into it because, like, the fact that the Mario movie's been out for a couple weeks now, and I'm seeing it, obviously, a few weeks late, and this movie, his opening weekend, already grossed over $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know, which is insane, and then for the movies to still be that packed, they're still making billions.
This is a good couple weeks for Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like he's Mario and then he's Star-Lord and the 2 huge movies, but yeah, this theater it was probably one of the most the superhero movie that we've gone to since we started this channel. That's been the most full, for sure.
Yeah. It was a 90% full theater.
So what do we attribute that to? You know, is it because it's James Gunn last hurrah with Marvel? Is it just because it's Guardians? Is it, you know, Chris Pratt and Star-Lord and like the star power in the movie? Like what do you think would contribute to Guardians 3 being the biggest show we went to?
So now that you had just brought it up, I had completely because I've been so tied into Jack Black playing Bowser and just always seeing the Peaches thing going on Instagram and TikTok and everything that I kind of totally forgot that Chris Pratt was Mario.
Just the main guy.
Yeah. And dude, there's a lot of like Pratt fanatics.
Oh yeah.
If you could say, like, people are in love with Chris Pratt and we'll just go and see anything that he does at this moment. So he has 2 big box office. Well, who knows yet, because this is the day after releasing. So we still have to get through the weekend before we see how successful the movie was. I
mean, I think technically it comes out today. I think
it's the 5th, right?
Yeah. For some reason they just put movies out a day early now, which I'm fine with because then we can go a day early. But I think it just pads the numbers a little bit.
Yep, that's exactly what it does, because we used to do tricks like that with releasing music and releasing albums, and going on a full like release run and just promoting the record, not even playing, just trying to sell the record like in line, and then whatever we sold for that month that we're on tour, because it's before the release date, it all counts as the day that it gets released. So that's how you make a movie successful or make a record chart. There's an algorithm to it, and there's a little bit of a game to it that you can start seeing. So I think that's the whole thing with the Thursday releases, is that if people want to go and see this movie, they're going to want to see it as soon as possible. They're going to go to that first showing.
Yeah, I think it also just comes from like starting earlier and earlier and earlier, you know, because they would do like the midnight showing. They always did midnight early releases, but then like now, you know, not everybody can go to a midnight showing, so they would do like a 10 o'clock showing, and now they just have the whole day. You know what I mean? It just like kept crawling forward and forward and forward.
Yeah, I don't think any movie theaters really do midnight releases, because we've tried to do midnight releases, and the earliest that we've been able to do was the day before, but it still wasn't a midnight release. It was like we're getting there at 9 o'clock, but all the staff goes home when we're in our movie, and then when our movie ends, we're in the theater by ourselves. We could spend the night in that theater.
I think it is also like, I think our schedule contributed to a lot of that too, because like we could have went like this time we were able to go at 4, but there was one at like 10:30. That's usually the one that we go to.
Yeah,
but
then everybody goes home after 10:30. It's like they clock out at 11:30, and then we're there at 1:00 in the morning when the movie finally lets out, and by ourselves. It's kind of it's almost like, a little scary. Not gonna lie.
Us and a cleaning person. That's it.
Maybe, yeah, if that.
The cleaning person. Which one was it? Which movie did we go to? It was like super late, and we were sitting there. Like the whole theater didn't move because we're waiting for end credit scenes. And the cleaning person comes in and is like, "There's not another one. Leave. Like go home."
Oh, it was.
He wants to just come in and clean, so like if he can go home, you know what I mean?
It was. I think it was Wakanda.
Might have been.
I think it had to be Wakanda because the only time that I ever get those kind of interactions is at AMC.
Yeah, it was.
Man,
AMC,
I'm hating on
sure.
AMC today, man.
Hey, this is for our area, for our specific location, for the AMC that we went to. The worst one out of the bunch for us.
Yes, 100%.
You know what I mean?
I honestly, I went to not too long ago. The last time when Spider-Man came out, with Toby and Andrew Garfield and all them, I went to the Cherville one, and I still didn't like it there either. It was just kind of like getting beat down, and I don't know if it's just like because we have those 3 movie theaters. Those 2, like the ones in Cherville, are right across the street from each other, and then you drive 10 minutes down the highway, and you're at the next one. So there's 3 in the same vicinity, and those 3 are just like never a very good experience. You know, we had the issues with the seats.
Oh yeah, well they are the oldest ones too. Like they're the oldest ones. I think Cinemark is significantly newer.
Yes,
and they just completely redid the what's now Imagine. So
yeah, because that was IMAX.
Yeah,
which I believe is part of AMC. So I believe AMC owned it. So Cinemark and Imagine, those 2 theaters, I think are the best in the area, or best to go to. And I don't know, AMC is gonna have to step it up. Because
we might not want to tell people this. They might be in the area and they're like, we're going to start going there, and then we're not going to be able to go. You know what I mean? Like,
right? I mean, for real, though.
We got to keep it secret. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean,
they
other
just
people
sponsor the channel, realistically, is what they should do.
Imagine. Reach out. Yeah. But yeah. So, anyways, back to Guardians. Let's get back to Guardians. Imagine 10 out of 10 experience. Yeah. The other ones under that. So back to Guardians. It starts with them in like the little nowhere, their headquarters.
Yes.
And as soon as we see it there, I'm like, oh, this is why they did a Christmas special. They already had everything built. They had everything ready to go. Everybody's got costumes. Everybody's, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, why not shoot a little 45-minute holiday special? If you got everything built already, and I think it also established like a timeline for you too, because like they were there in Christmas, they're all happy, they're all doing their thing. At the beginning of this movie, they're putting up new signs, and then Adam Warlock, yeah,
yes,
comes in and starts destroying everything. So I feel like that created a little bit more of that emotional attachment to that nowhere location, because you see how long they've been there, how happy they were there, and like how it was almost like it was like a paradise for them. You know what I mean? How much crap have they dealt with, all those people, and now they have this place that's nice and they're happy there and they're celebrating Christmas there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's all destroyed and taken away from them. So, you know, in hindsight, I think the Christmas movie or the Christmas special was a little bit better now for me, just establishing all those things. But, yeah, I don't know if I don't know if it's still like a go watch again. I'm not gonna watch Guardians Christmas special every Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One and done. I'm good on that.
But yeah, you actually had brought up one point to me last night when we were talking about the holiday special. I don't remember exactly what episode it was. It had to be like 10 or something like that, maybe. No, it would have been like 6 or 8 or something like that, talking about the holiday special. But I think you were like, you had said something like they kind of shot it crappy and it just looks like it's built on a set and it was all built. You know, it just doesn't look like a good movie. And you know, kind of was assuming that whole special kind of took place more so on a planet.
Right. Yeah. Like it like it was an actual location.
Yeah, not on a ship.
Yeah, it's the whole thing's a ship. Yeah. I was so confused.
Because it looks like a sunset almost, especially like during that first opening like musical thing. It looks like that's a sunset.
Well, I was thinking almost the opposite. I was like, why is the lighting so bright? Like this isn't
almost.
This isn't what outside looks like. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
Now it does.
And now we know it's a ship and it's all like it's like all internal. So it's all like, fake lighting.
Oh, it had bad lighting because it's supposed to have bad lighting.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you go into a submarine or any kind of spaceship. Like, does that have good lighting? Absolutely not.
But how big is that ship, though? You know, that massive
dude, that was
skull?
Planet size, dude.
Yeah, that massive skull comes through. And I was like, what is that? And then you realize that it's like the actual ship. Like, it's the actual place where they were living. And, yeah, it was crazy.
That their big ship flew out of.
Yeah.
You know, they landed on that thing. So, like, that thing was pretty massive.
Right.
And it was super cool looking. I kind of low-key want to get that tattooed.
Yeah, like the big cannon coming out of the eye.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
It just starts gets bigger and bigger.
What the heck was the dog's name? Cosmo?
Oh, Cosmo. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the dog.
Cosmo was funny, yeah.
I think I fall in love with the animals or something. I think I have a soft spot for animals, and when they talk or they like have a personality or something like that, like Air Bud. That's the vibe that I got
Air Bud
from Cosmo.
Yeah, I think everybody gets attached to animals. You know what I mean? Isn't that like round, furry, cute, big eyes? Like that's like this. The normal definition of cute is like furry, round, big eyes, like things like that.
Not me, you know. Like
I mean, I'm round. I don't know how cute I am, but
big eyes, furry. You know. That's the definition of cute, isn't it?
Hey, that's. I mean, you're a cute guy. You're a cute guy. I mean, what can we say?
Ow! I just bashed my knee.
I heard it. I think it picked up in the microphone. Yeah.
I bet it picked up in the microphone, but I saw my camera shaking. Oh, dude. I just extended it and it just like started cracking all up and down. Oh, every time I bend it moves.
That sounds cool.
I wish I can turn up the mic, and I wish I had the condenser on now because I'd put the microphone up to my knee and just
oh, God. Ow. No.
Oh, getting past that one, man. But I had a great time last night. I really enjoyed it. I was on Reddit last night. I don't know why I was on Reddit. I'm starting to hate Reddit more and more. But I was on Reddit and I went to the Marvel Studios page and it was like their official post and subreddit to like leave your comments on what you thought. And it was actually kind of cool because they were the first. Marvel Studios was the first ones to like my little comment on it. And I had said that this is the most invested that I've been into a Guardians film.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And everybody was kind of saying the same thing. I think, to be honest, I think this is the best Guardians film that they have put out of the three.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to go rewatch number 1, I think.
Yeah, I think just because I got so attached in 1 and 2 and wanted more from Rocket and wanted more story out of Rocket, that and that's why I liked him, you know, because I wanted more, that in this movie they gave us more.
Yeah, you know, I feel like
without just killing him off. Oh, I
like
spoiled it.
I feel like number 2 was more of like a placeholder, you know, setting up all the end game stuff and you know.
Well, James Gunn didn't he like officially say like we're not doing this anymore? Like, this isn't that, like, this is supposed to, I don't know if it's supposed to mark an end or start anew. Like, what is it? What is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like the one thing that I don't know how to take.
I think it's definitely, it's an end of some sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, because we're supposed to, I think this is the last movie for like a handful, like at least a few of the Guardians.
Yeah, you know,
I think Batista's done.
Yep.
And I think Saldana, Zoe, she's done.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nebula was done. Just, you know, I don't know if going through all of that makeup and stuff again would be beneficial, you know, because they talk about how bad it is for their skin and, you know, just how hard it is to maintain all that stuff for so long.
You would think they would almost try to do it at this point, just CG it. Maybe it just looks bad. I mean, it looked pretty bad, but
bad.
Yeah. So but, maybe I retract my statement.
Yeah, I mean, look at Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. You know what I mean?
Oh,
still a joke, you know. But
it's funny though. I was pretty young when that movie came out, and at first I was like, "This is kind of cool," but now looking back on it, I'm like, "Oh, this is hot trash." I was like, "Why did I think this was cool when I was a kid?"
Yeah, I think it's. You know, you think back to like Wakanda. All of that stuff was practical. You know, all of Namor's people were actually painted blue. Were actually like they put.
And like, that movie came out amazing.
Yeah, so good. It wouldn't have looked the same if it was all CG.
No,
you know what I mean. And this movie was already expensive enough. What'd you say? Like $250 million?
Yeah, $250 million to make Guardians 3.
Yeah, there's so much. You know, we were watching the credits, waiting for end credit scenes, and it's just like Weta's in here, which is a visual company, ILM, which is like the big, like Star Wars and everything. Their visuals, like they're just pages and pages of visual artists. You know, you add 4 more characters in CG the entire movie. It's like, no, that's not.
They had like graphic designs, but then like graphic designers in those credits, but then like other subcategories of those graphic designers.
Yeah, because I mean they're full teams. Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's like, because then you get into like 3D, and then somebody like models the stuff, somebody textures the stuff, somebody lights it, somebody you know, and then somebody comps it, and then, you know, it's a whole process. It's not like one person can do it. You know, there's a dude on YouTube, Ian Hubert, I think his name is, and he's doing a really cool series, and he's working on it by himself, but it's taken him 10-15 years, you know, to put out a couple episodes. And, you know, his stuff is crazy. But that just goes to show, like, we're getting these movies really fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you need these massive teams to make that happen. Otherwise, imagine what the CG would look like if they didn't have those.
If it was one guy,
yeah, one guy, and he has to finish it in a year, 2 years, maybe.
Yeah,
it would just be empty. There would nothing.
30 minutes.
Yeah, there would be like one block in the background, like moving around. Like that.
He'd be able to animate that old school DVD logo that just bounces around the screen a bunch.
Yeah, I mean that one thing would look really good, but that would be all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. CG is crazy. I'm very.
We dove into it a little bit trying to learn it.
Yeah, I do some 3D stuff, but I do very like low poly, like simple stuff. Like I don't do the realistic stuff, and that would be that's crazy. But Rocket though looked awesome.
Oh yeah,
you could see every like hair in his fur. You know what I mean? Like go back to like the cat or whatever in the first Toy Story.
Yeah,
I just saw a comparison of the cat or the dog or whatever from the first Toy Story to like the fourth Toy Story, and how different it is.
Really,
and it's just
the
like
textures
crazy.
Are just way better.
Yeah, because like the first one was completely flat, like single colors, like fill in, and then the the fourth one had like you could see fur and you could see all this stuff, and it was like such a crazy difference.
It was fluffy, not just the skin and bones bag. But
I wonder, what do you think about Guardians?
I mean, I think it was great, but we did get one crazy moment. There was one crazy moment. Even the guy, because we were pretty much shoulder to shoulder. We had to sit between people. Yeah. The guy next to me, there was a moment in there where Groot didn't say, "I am Groot."
Oh yeah.
What, I forget exactly what he said.
He said, "I love you guys."
That's what it was. Yeah, I was like, it was I love you too or something. I love you guys. That's what it was. And straight up, I heard Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah, you could
first
hear
time.
Vin Diesel was prevalent in this movie.
Yeah, a little bit. And I feel like low key. Okay, so I don't know how it goes to film and animate Groot, but this one, Groot is beefy, dude.
Groot is dope. I want to.
Yeah,
we can talk about Groot.
Dude.
Yeah, and that one part where he gets
jacked.
massive.
Yeah, I love Groot, dude. I love Groot, but he is jacked, and I low key feel like they just had Vin Diesel in a green suit, all pumped up, like when he was like rapping around. Oh God, what's that guy's name? The dude from Meet the Millers, the kid.
Adam Warlock.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget his name all the time. I didn't like him.
Really?
Him. Yeah.
I had mixed feelings about him, but yeah.
I felt like all I saw was the kid from Meet the Millers and heard this man voice coming out of him, and I was just like, the voice that's coming out of you doesn't match your face, baby face. That's how I felt, and I don't know. I feel like
I think
he's probably not going to be as probably prevalent in any of the Marvel movies any longer. At least I would hope not.
I don't know. I
feel like he was he played a semi-big part, but honestly really didn't matter to me that much in the story.
I didn't mind the casting as much as I didn't care for like the character.
Yeah.
He was almost, I don't know. He was like he was
like
verging
it was a combination of those.
He was like verging on like that Thor for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was super powerful, and then he would say things that like made sense, and then all of a sudden he'd be like, "Oh, cute puppy."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What? Why? What?" But I mean, I guess you can also tell from the movie like how like I don't know like what the word is, but like his whole civilization seems different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that
I don't
puppy
know,
thing I've seen on covers before. I know I've seen that somewhere.
I don't know enough about like Adam Warlock and the rest of like his society or group, or because his mom also looked very young and also looked very like they had the gold skin. They looked perfect. You know what I mean?
Before he said mom, I thought that they were like together, like
I thought they were sisters or something.
Yeah.
but brother and sister. But it was just a weird like dynamic. Like his whole dynamic was weird to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's very awkward character that I was like, does he really belong here? And then at the end, for him to play the part of saving, which I want to talk about that too, with saving Star-Lord and saving Quill.
Yeah, I know you got feelings about this one.
Yeah. So how? Okay, if bring it back up Toy Story. What we learned is if you take off a spaceman's helmet in space, their eyeballs will be sucked from their sockets. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
To quote Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
What he didn't have nothing on, just floating in space, and then he freezes and kind of swells up a little bit. Why wasn't his eyeballs sucked from his sockets? I was ready for him to. I was like, no way, he's living past that. I thought he was gonna go out and fucking.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, I think I'm not a spaceman, but I don't know if I don't know if Buzz Lightyear is the right reference for facts about space.
Hey, I think it's a thing that like something bad happens to your body,
right? You freeze because of how cold it is.
I think there's that, but I think like something with gravity and like sucking the air out of like there's like a vacuum seal of space.
Yeah.
You know,
we would have to fact check this, but we're also talking about a movie in which like animals talk. So
yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like it's already far fetched, so why make it that far fetched? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna shoot the shot, I guess shoot it. But
this is not where I thought you were going with this whole space thing.
The space thing, it just confused me.
I thought you were going into the helmet conversation that you had yesterday.
It was going into there.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Like Star-Lord's eyes not coming out of his head is like the hill you want to die on.
Well, like, because like, I just feel like that's realistically like not possible just because he didn't have his helmet on, right? Yeah. Which gets me to the next point. Where was his helmet this entire movie?
Yeah.
Every cover, every comic, he barely ever takes his helmet off in the comic. I don't know if he ever has actually taken his helmet off in the comics.
I don't know. I don't
check it out.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever read a Guardians comic.
I haven't read like the original origin stories or nothing like that, but the little bit that I've seen that ties him into things, he has his helmet on, you know? And I like the helmet, especially in the first movie, and I think he wore it in the second one with the 3 red things on his face. They were glowing. I was like, that looks cool. It's the first movie.
Well, I also, wasn't that one of your problems with Ant-Man too?
Was that he wasn't in the suit and he wasn't...
He never put his helmet on. When he did, he took it off right away. And
yeah,
you don't like him when they don't have their helmets on.
Well, because that's not the point. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not supposed to tell people who you are, and you're not in combat. Like it's a very devastating thing. Like, and that's what I didn't so much like about Tom Holland a little bit. Was that everybody knows that he is Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. You know, he can't go out in public. He's like a little celebrity at a certain point.
Well, I mean, he got put on blast, too. That was when they, like, streamed his face over the whole city. And
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's supposed to be a secret identity because, well, I mean, I don't know. It's space, too. I don't know. Different... Dude, you know what I'm saying, though? Dude. Like, these are heroes. It's almost supposed to kind of be a secret identity.
I mean,
at the same time, I guess none of these people really have secret identities. But he's Star-Lord and he's Quill. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of has a secret identity.
I think, well, the Star-Lord thing comes from when he was a Ravager. You know what I mean? And he was trying to, like, sneak around and steal stuff. And, you know, I think he had got that name. But... I'm not sure. That doesn't bother me. I know the one time that it did bother me is like when he's going in like to do something and it's like a dangerous situation. Why wouldn't he have his helmet on in that situation? You know what I mean? Like I understand when he's walking around the ship or like, you know, going to meet with somebody, even whatever, like.
Or like the simple way that you could have fixed that whole scene and not made my mind go, why didn't his eyeballs get sucked from his sockets, was by putting his helmet on before he jumped off of that ship.
But that's what I said yesterday. If he had his helmet on, if I'm not mistaken, his helmet protects him in that situation, correct?
Yeah. That's what I would think.
But then you don't get that interaction between him and Adam Warlock where he saves him, and then you never get that, like... You don't get that turn.
I think he could have still froze. I think he could have still froze out there, but that would have kept oxygen and like pressure.
Yeah.
In his face. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like that would have kind of broke it a little bit more for me if he had the helmet on. Still not be able to reach it because then he would have just been lost in space. alive.
I don't. There were a lot of issues with that whole space interaction in my mind. Like when he first was like running off, they didn't look like that far away. Like, why didn't Groot like try to grab him then?
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I feel like I guess there is nobody. Adam was the only one that can like fly. But
why didn't the dog just grab him with their mind?
Well, they couldn't. The dog had already like been maxed out.
Yeah, you know I guess, but I mean, compared to the ship, like that should be easy, right?
I wouldn't think so. You know what I mean? Just you look at other like telekinesis people, like Sue Storm, or
yeah, and they like bleed and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they almost seem like wounded from it.
It's like they got a gas tank, and once that gas tank hits E, like you gotta recharge. Mm-hmm. Like you can't just immediately go back and turn it back on.
So that dog is more powerful than Susan Storm.
I don't know.
Ship, that had to be pretty hard to do to that ship. Yeah. Keep an airtight seal. The thing is that they made such a big deal about it before everybody got off of the other ship, and it was like, it has to be airtight, or the kids they won't make it over. You know, made such a big deal about it. I guess I could still make it over. Whatever. Should just let the kids freeze, bring them back, whatever. Bring them back one by one. You would have been all right.
This is where it got me, is because like they were like, it has to be airtight, blah blah blah, like all that stuff. But then at the end when they're saying goodbye to Gamora and everything, it's just open.
Like, yeah, they have like that purple shield or something. I think
at that point there was no shield, was there? Because like every other part of the movie, you could see like the film, like you could see a yellow film when there's a yellow shield, so on and so forth. At that part, it was just black. Like there was big open. It seemed like
I had thought it was purple.
Area.
I thought it was purple. Yeah,
I have to go back
and reach
see.
To the purple. We're gonna go back tonight.
I don't know. Cinco de Mayo. I gotta eat tacos, bro.
Oh yeah, it is. Dude, I forget. I'm Mexican and I forget.
Man,
I'm starving right now too, though. I haven't eaten.
We got free comic book day tomorrow, though. We gotta get free comic books. We gotta get some other stuff
and free tacos.
Free tacos. No, that's today. Tomorrow's all the extra tacos that they made for Cinco de Mayo, but nobody bought. So you can get free ones. I wanted to go back to Groot for a second because I want to talk about the part where he pulled all of those guns out. He pulled all those guns out and just starts spinning around, and you just got like tree tentacles, branches, I guess, tree tentacles.
Tree tentacles.
But like branches don't move like that, you know what I mean? Those were like tentacles, bro. Like he just pulls all these guns out, throws a couple of the Peter Quill, Star-Lord, and then he just up in there like, what I don't even know what movie I'm thinking about, but it just reminds me of like an homage to some big movie where he just like Matrix. Pulls out all the guns. Might be, yeah, that's probably it.
Matrix.
Yeah, because Neo has tentacles too. And then he just pulls them all out, bro, and he just starts just unloading on everybody. Groot, man, we've had 3 Guardians movies. We got 3 totally different versions of Groot, bro. Like
yeah.
We got like the first movie of like Groot's a tree, cool, you know what I mean? And then we get baby Groot, and now we got bad A Groot, dude.
Yeah,
he was massive, and
for half a second we had King Groot.
King Groot? What are you talking about?
With the crown?
I missed it. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
It was like during that same moment, like during the big epic fight scene at the end.
Is King Groot a thing?
Yes. In the comics, I've seen like his head look like a king thing, and then I saw it and I was like, I've seen that before, and then I was kind of like, maybe it's Wakanda, and I told you last night. I looked at you. I was like, that kind of reminds me of the shark guys.
Yeah.
From Namor, and so that's immediately where my head went, and then the guys behind me was like King Groot, and I was like, oh yeah, and then all the covers started popping in my head.
I feel like if I would have known about that, I probably would have noticed it too. But not knowing it, I'm just thinking Groot looks like a
I've just seen it. You know what I'm saying? And then seeing it, kind of realizing like, oh snap, that's kind of the angle that it was too. Like I feel like I've seen that exact image of him before too. Really? So like that's like it was like that deja vu moment, and I feel like that happened because like that has to be the cover.
Could be, yeah, like an homage to the cover.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, because they did that consistently in Man of Steel. You know, like movies do that a lot, especially with key moments in comics. Especially Groot is another one of a lot of people's favorite characters.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And Groot is the
probably even more after this one.
Oh yeah, 100%. I want to see how many King Groot statues come, action figures, all different kinds of collectibles. I bet you there's gonna be a whole lot. Look out for Sideshow, I guess, you know, guys, because they're the ones that do the crazy stuff. Them and Prime One Studios.
Also just in general, I just kind of love like end characters, like the tree guys. Like there's a lot of games that I play that have one. I always pick him. I got like this like incense burner, that's one, and like the smoke comes out of him. I got a little like there's like a little tree guy right here. Like I got tree guys all over the place, bro. Like Groot is, and then he got massive in this one. I was loving that one, man. Like the part where his head gets cut off and he's just like crawling around on like a bunch of little tree tentacles, bro. Like, I love this. I think I like this movie now more talking about it.
I'm just because you're kind of remembering key points in it. Because at first it was like, let's digest this, let's eat this and digest it, and now it's like let's remember back on those key moments. You know? Yeah,
dude. I mean,
I definitely don't think that it was a bad movie by any means at all.
Except for his helmet. You had a big problem with space, but
that doesn't make it a bad movie. You know, like there was that one point at the end that I was like, "Why? This is okay. Now you're pushing it." You know? Like now you're pushing it. It's not Groot. It's not King Groot. It's not Rocket. It's not all them. Now you're pushing it.
I'd be willing to say that I don't think this is the last we're going to see Adam Warlock. I could be wrong about that. I feel like we are going to see him again. We can take a couple minutes here to talk about end credit scenes. I know it's not going to take long.
Oh yeah, because there was.
I think it was so funny how upset people were by these end credit scenes. I think it's so funny. Yeah. Like, I feel like people are expecting big reveals in every end credit scene, but that's not how it goes. You know, like
I think they just do it to do it now.
Well, I mean, they have that opportunity to do a not a spoiler, but like a transitional thing. But like, go back to the first Deadpool movie. I mean, that wasn't done by Marvel Studios, but the end of they wait till the end of all the credits. We're sitting there waiting for a credit scene, and all it is Deadpool coming out of a room and saying, "There is no end credit scene. Go home. Why are you still here? Like, you're still eating popcorn. Go home. Like, why are you waiting for credits then? It's a movie. The movie's over." Like, he's just like saying this stuff. There's no transition there. Like, it's just a part of a movie. You know what I mean? And you don't have to wait.
Supposed to be fun. Yeah, you don't have to wait by any means, but I think everybody wants it to be, oh, they're going to drop a trailer for something at the end of it, and that's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It just plays a little bit more into those people's characters. Like, that played 100% more into Deadpool's character, because that, as a character, that's how he is.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, if he would have walked into that theater after the credit scenes and you were still in there, he would 100% say that. In real life, you know.
I think this one was interesting, though. Like, this one was interesting to me. There was absolutely no content, like no material, really. But at the same time, we see Star-Lord go back to Earth and see his grandpa, and then at the very end, he's eating cereal. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that contrast between the chaos of being space and being a hero and doing all this stuff, and then he's like, I want to step away and go see my grandpa and return to Earth and see what it's like. And then he's eating cereal. Like, that's Earth. Like, what do you do? What do you do? You know what I mean? You freaking eat cereal.
I think he was talking about like, no, I'm going to mow the lawn.
Yeah, he's like, he's like, I keep mowing the lawn for the neighbor, but her son won't help me. And he just sits there and looks at me. I'm like, that happens in my neighborhood every day. Like, I look out my window. I'm like, my neighbor's mowing his lawn again for the third time this week. I'm like, what? This is how Earth is. He was returning to Earth after this chaos to,
Yeah, and then at the end, it said Star-Lord will return.
Yeah, and he will, of course.
Which makes me believe, I think that we're going to get a Star-Lord TV show. It's going to be a Disney Plus show.
Of him just eating cereal and mowing lawns?
Of being a normal person, probably, honestly, or like probably tying into something by the end of... They'll probably do 1 or 2 seasons, and then by the end of season 2, it ties him back and pulls him back into space because he has got to go save the world again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We have a lot... We have a lot to see what comes because, I mean, we have Secret Invasion coming too. That's something that happens on Earth. And they're going to need stuff for that. I think
that's a show.
Yeah. Like you said, Secret Wars is coming. He could get tied into that somehow. We still don't really know what to expect from Secret Wars at this point. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
having like a couple key, like having some people in places is a good way to, just prep things. Like, okay, we know Star-Lord is here. We know like there's a new little Guardians clique. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think this did a really good job of ending things, but also leaving a lot of doors open for a lot of different things to come.
Especially a lot more with Rocket. That's the one that I'm really excited about.
I mean,
he's the captain now.
Who was it? It was Rocket, Groot, Adam, Warlock,
and now I'm
Mantis?
Why can't I? Yondu.
Oh yeah.
Not Yondu.
Yeah, it was Sean Gunn. It was James Gunn's brother.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he did a lot of like the Rocket stuff in the first movie too, and then Bradley Cooper voiced over. But yeah. So we could get like a little offshoot show of them going around and just doing stuff. You know what I mean? How many Groot and Rocket little cartoon shorts are there? You could make a little show out of that. You could make
how many what ifs?
Yeah, I mean, what if would be cool. I mean, I don't know when we're ever gonna get this what if season 2. That's supposed to come out last year, I think. So
I don't think we're ever going to.
I don't know. It was supposed to come out last year, and then we're supposed to get a What If Zombies movie, but we'll see. Now with this writer's strike, we'll talk about that more in a couple weeks, I think. But I'm waiting to see more news come through, and if we can get some resolution before we talk about it too much, because it's just super up in the air right now.
Right.
But this is episode 30. We actually have an interview next week that we said was episode 30, but this is episode 30. That is episode 31. And I think all that's left is to rank it.
Rank it.
The movie.
Out of 10 stars. Out of 10 ranks. Honestly, I give this one... Dang, what did I give Black Adam? I think I gave that an 8.
I think you did, yeah.
I was going to give this one an 8. Yeah, I guess I'll say it's an 8.
We're usually pretty generous. Yeah. I feel like I have no idea what I rank things anymore. Mm-hmm. I would say...
I'd say we're usually at a 5 or a 6.
Well, no, I think Shazam and Ant-Man were around like 5 to 7. Mm-hmm. Black Adam and Wakanda Forever were like those 8, 9s, I think. And I think this fits in there with those.
Yeah.
So I'll give it like 8.5 Star-Lords out of 10.
8.5 Star-Lords. For sure. Gosh, dang.
Anything else you want to say about the movie?
Man, I thought it was a good one. It definitely got me more tied into Rocket, more tied into Groot. We got Groot saying something else besides I am Groot in this one, so that was really cool. I think that about wraps it up.
I want to ask you this. Right? So, Gamora couldn't, when she came back, she couldn't understand Groot anymore. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden at the end, she could understand Groot again. So did Groot actually say something other than I am Groot, or did we just finally have that connection to Groot so we can understand him now?
Ooh.
That's the question. That's
so
the question.
Is Vin Diesel going to come in because Fast and the Furious is done with?
I mean, he was always there. So
maybe, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that was him learning how to say "I love you guys" or something. I don't know. Maybe
it
could be, dude. Who knows?
I think we might have developed the connection to Groot, so we can understand him now. Because everybody who's close to him can understand him.
We're that close to Groot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Level. I feel like that's like
I get what you're saying.
I feel like that's the image that they're portraying. Like we are finally close enough to Groot. Groot loves us, y'all. Yeah, I think Groot loves us. Guys. Totally. I love you guys too. I am Groot.
Yeah,
that's not him at all. Groot. I just think Groot should be British.
All right, man. But guys, stay safe on Free Comic Book Day. Are we doing a poll list, or are we just gonna stay
safe on Free Comic Book Day? When this comes out, it's over, bro.
Is it?
I hope you guys were safe on Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, wear a condom.
All right, let's do a poll list, bro.
All right, let's do it.
Explosions.
Wrapping up this week's podcast, we are diving in to our poll list this week, man. What are you pulling?
I got book number 1 as Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones number 3. She is fighting some clones, and she's in the thick of it right now, and now somebody's hiding in the shadows on top of that. So kick her while she's down. It seems like she's got the worst ahead of her. There's some cool variants on this one. We got some virgins, we got some hand-drawns, it looks like, and I'm pumped for anything Spider-Gwen, so I'm ready to pick this one up for sure.
Absolutely. Is this a lady rhino that I'm seeing on the cover?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it could be. There's clones of a lot of different things. It seems like we're gonna have to get into it and find out.
Yeah, diving in deep. All right. Book number 2 on the poll list is Extreme Venomverse issue number 1. Diving into this one, we're going to have a whole bunch of different symbiotes. Looks like we got another Spidey black suit. A lot of different symbiotes going on. Diving into another Spider-Verse. Well, I guess in this case, Venomverse.
Yeah.
Which should be pretty cool.
By the time this one comes out too, there's a Venom, Spider-Man and Venom book coming out on Free Comic Book Day. Hopefully y'all picked it up. By the time you're seeing this, I've already read it. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about, I know you're excited about all the symbiote stuff coming up.
Yeah, unfortunately I had to say goodbye to 361. And I'm still, seller's regret. Seller's regret is real on that one. But yeah, I've been in love with symbiotes recently, and this is going to, I feel like, be another probably pretty big arc that's going to be happening. Who knows? We could get some Venom stuff happening in the new, Across the Spider-Verse?
Yeah. Well, that comes out soon, so.
Yeah, who knows?
Book number 3 this week is going to be Batman Incorporated number 8. You see on the cover that Joker has spray painted over it saying Joker Incorporated. So it's asking, what is Batman without the Joker? And why does Batman get to have Batman all over the world? And there's only one Joker. So in this one, everybody gets a Joker. It says Australia gets a Joker, China gets a Joker, England gets a Joker, Australia gets a Joker, Argentina gets a Joker, France gets a Joker, everyone gets a Joker. Everyone's getting a Joker, y'all. So there's more than one Joker. Yeah, we're gonna see some crazy stuff coming out of this one, I think. So I'm excited.
Bonkers, man.
Bonkers.
Bonkers. Guys, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on so you guys don't miss out on any future podcasts, poll lists, or extra videos on Friday.
Friday night.
All right. Diving into book number 3 on the list. No, 4 on the list. It's the last book.
4.
Yeah. This is number 4.
Yeah.
We're talking about ASM issue number 25. This one is Whatever Happened to Mary Jane. This one made my list because of all of the crazy variants. It looks like they have a John Romito Jr. Why did I say that so weird? John Romito Jr. 1-in-100 ratio variant, and it's an homage to Amazing Fantasy issue number 15, which is the first appearance of Spider-Man. So that is a crazy cool 1-in-100 variant. It looks like it says the retail price on it is $6.99, but I highly doubt that the 1-in-100 variant is going to be only sold for $6.99.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. But Nathan Zerdy is coming in with a couple of these Black Cat variants. There's another John Romita Jr. It's not the 1 in 100 variant, but it's another black suit variant, which is also paying homage to that same Amazing Fantasy issue. And, you know, we got another one of your favorites, Jake, Scotty Young.
Yes, sir.
Coming in on these variants.
We got a Disney cover on this one.
Oh,
the Disney cover is super dope. There's actually a black and white and a colored Disney cover on this one.
I'm
loving that.
It looks like there's two 1 in 100 variants, a 1 in 25 variant, and a 1 in 50 variant. But then there's also 18
there's a
variants.
lot. There's a lot of variants on this one.
I don't know about
and they're
18,
all
16.
cool too.
Yeah, they're all pretty dope. So if you guys like the artwork and you guys are into incentive ratio covers and stuff like that, this is one of those issues to get.
Oh yeah.
You know, I love those homage covers too, because I can never afford a Amazing Fantasy 15. So
yeah. Right on. Well, until next time, you can check out our description by checking out the links below. There's things like free money on Whatnot using the link to sign up. You can use that free $10 you get anywhere on Whatnot, including our streams. Come and grab something like an ASM 361, was it? Or we got giveaways coming up too. Check out the podcast next week to hear some more about the giveaways we got coming up. And you can get Dubby.gg Jitterless Energy using code Collective Comics at checkout. Until next week, this has been Collective Comics.